The first step in crafting the life you want is to get rid of everything you don't. Hi there, and welcome to my channel. What makes us want to own more and more and more? Will what we have ever be enough? In his book on essentialism, Greg McKeown suggests that we move from the undisciplined pursuit of more to the disciplined pursuit of less. It's all about less, but better. As McKeown says, we don't need more things, we need the right things. In this video, I share with you my decluttering journey and some tips I've learned along the way. By midlife, we've usually accumulated quite a bit of stuff, and I was no exception. As I approached 50, I started to feel the need to pare down my possessions. I lived alone in a small 3-bedroom townhouse, and while my home didn't feel cluttered, I had accumulated quite a lot of items that no longer served me. I had dust collectors and household items, clothing and shoes that I no longer used. Then in 2016, my dad died. My mom had died many years before, but when Dad died, I found myself having to go through possessions that he accumulated over 90 plus years of his life. He was really organized, but he threw nothing away. So I found myself going through his salary slips and job letters from the 1920s, receipts and documents from the 60s. I found all the letters that I had written to my parents in the 1990s while I was studying in France. And then there were photographs of people that I didn't even know. The whole process was quite overwhelming, to say the least. Then a thought occurred to me. Who's going to go through my stuff when I die? I have no children. Fast forward to 2020. So I was living in a busy little town in central Trinidad. I had lived there for 16 years, but the hustle and bustle started to get to me, and I felt that I would enjoy a more peaceful life. I yearned to be closer to the beach, my happy place. And one day we were on lockdown during the pandemic, and it occurred to me that I was working from home anyway. Why not just downsize and move closer to the beach? I was single with no kids, so it was a no-brainer for me. It's not so easy if you have a family and school and jobs to think about, but you can do something to get you closer to your dream. McKeown suggests that we should try to live by design and not by default. So I began to pare down my possessions and get rid of anything that I didn't need. If I hadn't used an item in 6 months and I didn't really love it, it was gone. I decluttered ruthlessly, and then in January 2021, I packed most of my belongings in the car and took the ferry across to Tobago. So now, instead of a 3-bedroom townhouse, I live in a 1-bedroom rental, and I've found that I don't really miss the extra space. My new apartment is so easy to clean and maintain, and life is simpler. I know I can't get too crazy with what I bring in, so that keeps my purchases in check. Eventually, I'd like a 2nd bedroom for when family and friends come to visit, but for now, this is home. Here are some principles that help me in my decluttering process. The first one is a tip from Marie Kondo in her book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And she suggests that you hold up each item and ask, does this spark joy? I like to be surrounded by those items that I love or that add value or that I find useful. If an item sparks joy, you need to hold on to it. The second principle is the concept of Swedish death cleaning. I know it sounds pretty morbid, but it isn't. It simply means that you get rid of those items that you no longer use, so no one has to do it for you after you pass. This can be done in midlife or even before. When I reached 50, I realized that I had lived more than half of my life, and that was such a sobering thought. When we die, none of our stuff comes with us, so there's really no need to accumulate possessions if they're not useful to us or our family. Let me encourage you today to begin the decluttering process and pass on some items that you no longer need to others who may find them useful. When you first declutter your possessions, you may think that you're all set. That's not the case. So the next principle helps me to stay on top of things, and it's the 1 in, 1 out principle. Like most people, we have a closet full of clothes and we find ourselves wearing the same items over and over. Not so? So I keep a certain number of clothes hangers, and if I purchase any more clothes, I have to get rid of some. I'm not getting new hangers. The fourth principle is a place for everything and everything in its place, and that has been a game changer for me. It makes it easy to find all that I need right away, and I'm less tempted to purchase items if I don't know where I'm going to store them. If you find that clutter accumulates in certain areas, you may need to put some organization systems in place. Using a tray or a bowl to corral loose items works well for me. I find the space looks organized and I don't lose my small items. The fifth principle is, ask yourself, if I didn't own this item today, how hard would I be willing to work to get it? Our possessions often have sentimental value, but when we look at them objectively, we realize that their real value is much less. If I realize that I won't be willing to purchase that item again, it probably means that it's not adding as much value as I thought. I'm not a minimalist by any stretch of the imagination, but having a decluttered home has brought many benefits. Here are some of them. The first is more productivity. When I sit at my desk and it's organized, I have few distractions and I'm able to focus on my work. Having less clutter has been said to improve your mental clarity. The second benefit is more time. Every item that you own has to be cleaned, maintained, and taken care of. You know, they say that whatever you own owns you. It's so much easier to clean your kitchen counter if you have less items to navigate. So I only keep on my counter those items that I use every day. You also waste less time looking for items that you've misplaced. The third benefit is more peace and less stress. When my space is cluttered and I take the time to declutter and organize it, I feel so much more at peace. It's as if I can breathe again. The fourth benefit is more money. Sometimes you lose items or you forget what you have and you spend money to acquire new ones. When your space is decluttered, you can easily find all that you need. The fifth benefit is more energy. Clutter can drain our energy. When your space is cluttered, it takes a lot of energy to keep on top of things. You may feel overwhelmed and frazzled, but once you declutter, you feel more accomplished and energized. Decluttering is a lifelong process and it requires a new mindset. Don't stress. Start with one small area and build momentum. If this video has been helpful, please give it a like and let us know in the comments which area you're going to declutter first. Thank you for watching and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. See you soon.